I think every single day, if I'm honest with you, every single day, I will think about taking my own life. So every day that I fight through this is a success, as far as I'm concerned.
Having PTSD, it's like living in a storm for me in my head all of the time. That's the best way to describe it. I'm always anxious, I'm always feeling paranoid. I need to be in sort of fight or flight mode. I'm always concerned in the back of my head about something happening. I'm always smelling something or hearing something that's making me remember something else. Intrusive thoughts all the time. It's just like a non-stop fight, really. You know, and I fucking hate it, to be honest with you.
This is Andy Price, an Army veteran with post-traumatic stress disorder. After leaving the Army in 2009, Andy has struggled to live a normal life.
So this is basically that's all I've really got. That's obviously my dog tags. That's a lanyard awarded to me by the US Marines. That's a friend of mine who was killed. So there's no sort of particular purpose to this, it's just sort of keepsakes. You know, it's a massive part of my life. And, you know, the beret and the cap badge is something to be proud of as far as I'm concerned. So it's a bit dusty, isn't it?
Does it look like the same guy who wore that?
No, not at all.
This mission in Afghanistan is obviously not yet won.
Britain will send up to another 1,000 troops.
The UK has been in continuous conflict for over 15 years. Experts have long warned of a looming mental health crisis as a direct result of this large-scale deployment, and a lack of support services available when soldiers return. Thousands of veterans now struggle with alcoholism, drug addiction and homelessness, with suicide an all too common result. Despite this, there are no official statistics, but the government deny they are ignoring the problem. Now living at home in Portland with his wife Jackie and young family, Andy has had to take much of his PTSD care into his own hands. What's the punch bag for, apart from the obvious?
Jackie got it for me because I've got a habit of, or used to, take out my frustration on hitting walls. The walls indoors. If I'm frustrated about something, I'll just come out and slam my fists into that instead, which makes more sense than hurting myself.
Let's have a look at your hands.
And days are hopefully gone.
And these are your daily meds?
Yeah, so it's, I'll take 3 of these a day, it's 150 mils. The doctor was telling me that this is the most common thing to use for people with PTSD. I don't really want to go up any higher because it made me feel shit, basically. The whole point of me asking to go on meds was because I felt like I was going back to the same place where I had a breakdown last year. And they want me to take diazepam as well now, but I haven't taken them yet because I don't like drugs. You know, and diazepam's really addictive as well. I'm going to roll with these for now and just see where it goes from there.
The Weymouth and Portland area is steeped in military history, but is today one of the most deprived areas in the country, with thousands of jobs lost to cuts in the defence industry. Fed up with the lack of mental health services in his area, Andy founded the Veterans Hub, a peer-to-peer support network. With no money or funding for premises, the Hub's weekly meetings take place at Weymouth's old ferry terminal.
I think if we have a WhatsApp group just for the Veterans Hub, if anyone is needing to talk to anyone, okay, you can just ping a message on there. There's always going to be someone about to have a chat or have a brew with. Yeah, first of all, not everyone wants to go into like a clinical environment. You just want to be around people who understand what you're talking about and probably have a little bit of empathy with you. You've seen yourself, everyone's quite relaxed and yeah, there's a lot of banter flies about.
There doesn't seem any pressure on people to do anything.
Yeah, that's it. I've had that problem for years, mate. It makes it easier for the guys and girls coming through the door to open up and talk, you know, because I'm like, this is me, this is what I'm going through, this is why I'm doing this. When I started posting videos about what was going on, people have said that's really helped because you don't often see people talking about it openly.
I think last week, 4 or 5 days ago, I can't even remember what day it was, I made the decision to come off of my meds. I'm on 150 mils of sertraline a day and I'm on something else for another problem. I've had some hideous flashbacks which I've never experienced before, not like that, not like really visual stuff. See, I've had full-blown panic attacks. It's not easy at all, especially, it's just not anyway. But that's it.
Do you know where my beret is?
Darren, a disabled veteran suffering with PTSD, anxiety and depression, was one of the hub's first members.
So I've got Iraq, Kosovo, Afghanistan. The MOD have nothing down here for support. Their idea is, we've used you, we broke you, now go to the NHS.
The MOD have accepted culpability for the accident that led to Darren's disability. Despite this, he has spent the last 3 years fighting to have the necessary modifications carried out to make his home livable.
They've taken out other electrical sockets, so I have a hole in the wall, but they're not decorating up here.
This has taken a huge toll on his already fragile mental health and his family.
Darren and I have only been together, 7.5 years, and this has been my house for the last 18 years.
Right.
Obviously, I'm grateful it's actually being done, but he feels really bad because he then blames himself. If he wasn't injured, if I hadn't married him, then none of this would have needed to be done. The more it's gone on, the more depressed he's got. And I came home probably 2 years ago, sorry.
Okay.
He was suicidal about the whole thing. It's been a nightmare. It has been a nightmare getting into this point.
Before I knew about the hub, I thought I was the only veteran in Weymouth. But going there, I've met so many, and it just feels positive to be there.
It gives you a sense of purpose as well, I suppose.
It does, because I've not had that. I've not had that for 4 years when I left. I felt useless and I felt worthless, and I was projecting my feelings onto my family, and then I thought that they didn't want me here because I was a burden, and I'd tell my wife that. I said, I'm a burden to you.
Knowing what you know now, would you have signed up in the first place?
No. And it makes me laugh about their adverts that they've got out, but this is belonging. My family gave me strength, but a lot of people don't have that. So the hub, I feel, could be the strength for some people, others that are more vulnerable than myself and haven't got the things I had. I think the hub could be their family,
I'm working and I'm still trying to push forward with the Veterans Hub, and I think, the pressure of everything's just a lot at the moment, so I'm getting a lot of anxiety attacks or panic attacks or whatever the fuck they're called. I'm determined not to let this affect it, but it's just really fucking hard for me because I've still got things going on in my life and with my family and in my head. There you go. Another day in my life.
2 months later, I'm back in Portland to see how Andy's getting on.
You said there was something that you were keen to talk about.
One thing, especially when I'm doing my therapy, that always comes up and has come up for over a decade now is my friend Jonathan Kitaluga. It was back in 2004, basically, he was killed. I was never able to understand why he didn't come back, because he was such a good guy. And, I still remember having to clean the wagon out, wash it out of blood. I think the following day, I was given Kit's weapon and asked to clean it. At the time, it seemed really normal to me to be sat in the room pulling bits of my friend out of his own weapon, but it wasn't normal. And that was it. I was dropped off at garage up the road, and that was it. With no concept of how to deal with what I'd just been through. So yeah, I've just started hitting the bottle, fighting, and looking for self-destructive lifestyle.
It must grind you down.
I'm 40 years old almost, and I can't hold down a fucking job. I don't own anything. I'm angry all the time. I can't sleep properly all the time. I affect my family. The MOD have built us up to do something, but they haven't taught us how to switch off and come back down, so they don't allow us time to process.
Do you think that you'll stop feeling guilty, or at least get rid of that, or do you think that that's...
I think it's, for me now, I think it's a case of just managing it. I would say the hub
and Jackie and the girls are what are keeping me here at the moment. And then it's just keep pushing forward, you know. It used to be Jack Daniels, it's not Jack Daniels anymore.
That's a good.
Yeah.
And so the winner of the Young Person of the Year is Robert Richmond.
That evening, Andy invited me to an awards ceremony honouring local heroes. Though he wasn't aware of it, Hub members had secretly nominated him for a special award.
So this award is being given to recognise the efforts of somebody who has done something exceptional. In this case, a person who is helping rebuild the lives of those most in need. Let's take a look.
Andy runs the Veterans Hub for Weymouth and Portland. He founded it, and it's just gone from strength to strength.
And it's not just the veterans, it's for their families as well.
Andy's hard work is beginning to pay off. Through fundraising, donations and word of mouth, the Veterans Hub has seen an increase in financial support.
Thank you. That really well deserved.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't expecting that.
We now have a full-time Veterans Hub.
A permanent location has become available in town,
We're so excited, it's unbelievable.
allowing the hub to become more than just a weekly meetup and expand into a community cafe.
One of the things me and Darren were wondering about, we were thinking about rainy days. Yeah, we wanted to, you know, like one of them sort of veranda things, just coming out so guys can sit down here and have a coffee and, yeah, awning, that's the word, and just sit here and watch the rain fall. We love it. So it's absolutely buzzing. Can't wait. Really exciting, isn't it?
This is Mike, another local veteran. He was sleeping rough on the streets of Weymouth when he first met Andy. The Hub have organised for veterans like Mike to attend a horse therapy course to help with their mental health problems.
What have we got here?
This is Pickles. He's just the star of the show, mate. He just come up and give me a headbutt, and we
That's the way to your heart, hey?
yeah, and we just got on.
Andy, you look a little bit nervous.
Right.
Which is not something I've seen from you before.
Yeah. No, I just don't think the horse is like me. Because it's all about being calm and relaxed, and I'm never calm and relaxed. So it's, you know, it just stresses me out.
See how Andy is?
Yeah.
I was about 50 times worse than that. You could actually see my heart coming off my chest. Seriously. All I wanted was the door, and now look at me.
Is this the highlight of your week?
Yes, mate. I was in the pub when Andy phoned me. And as soon as he said to come to the horse centre, I stopped drinking. Mindset was, if I come in stinking of alcohol, it's unfair on the ladies giving their time up to me, and it's unfair on these guys, because they can sense it. You know?
How long were you on the streets for?
Total 5 years.
Right.
Once you start getting that ethos into your head that you are a worthless piece of shit, you start treating yourself like a worthless piece of shit.
Right.
And trying to get out of that, it takes a long, long time to come out of it. So this is where I slept for ages.
Wow.
If it pisses down with rain, I've got natural cover. You know, if I was a junkie, they'd help me, but because I'm not, they don't want to know. Because they don't know what to do with me. And that's half the problem. They don't know what to do with guys and ladies that have got post-traumatic stress. They just don't know how to deal with us.
Yeah. Do you get a sense of how your life would be right now if Andy hadn't arrived on the scene?
I wouldn't be here. And that's the God's honest truth. The day Andy found me, I was about 3 hours away from hanging myself. We're dying at a high rate and we're not in conflict anymore.
And what's the reason, do you think, that the government aren't doing what they should be?
Because they're embarrassed. They don't know how to deal with it. And they just say that it doesn't exist. But it fucking does exist. You've only got to look at myself, Andy, the guys that are in the hub. We all suffer with it. But the government won't actually put their hands up and say, we've got a problem.
Mike's experience is not unique. I was keen to understand how so many veterans slip through the net.
And you've got another lake on the back end, which is harder to fish, I find.
Chris spent 11 years in the Navy. Despite sharing PTSD-like symptoms, he has not been diagnosed.
That's where I wanted to be there.
Discharged servicemen and women have only 6 months to access official mental health services.
There's not a lot around this area, That's why a lot of people drift towards the forces.
Do you think there's a naivety around when people sign up? They don't really know what they're signing up for.
I don't think a lot of people do nowadays. I remember an officer, Royal Marine, where I was working, started talking about a Marine that had gone off sick with depression. And his exact words were, "We all take a bite of the same shit sandwich, get over it." And this was after my problems had started. And I was mortified that he'd actually said that. There's no need for it. Like the MOD, I think they don't diagnose a lot of the guys with PTSD because they know down the line they're going to come back and it's going to bite them in the ass. And that's why I think there's a lot of blokes out there that are living with it, that don't know they've got it because they haven't been told they've got it.
And the problem always is money, right?
British Legion's all right if you've got problems with housing or financial problems. Help for Heroes is good if you've got mental issues or injuries or things like that, but they can only help you up to a certain point. They don't give you that social setting where no one's going to judge you, no one's going to give a monkeys what you look like or what you've done. And he's hit the nail on the head and he's found out exactly what we need. What he's done is amazing. Fuck's sake, where are you?
It's the day before the new hub's opening. Andy and Darren are busy making preparations.
I think last time you were down here, you came in and took a look at the place, didn't you?
Yeah, we didn't get inside though.
I've had to quit my day job. Darren stepped up to do full-time work for the first time in a long time because we knew his injury and everything. Everyone's mucked him really well.
How's this going to work?
I'm going to make the cakes, Andy's going to make the scones.
And you guys are going to be here full time?
Yes.
Just the two of you?
Yes. And then anyone that wants to volunteer.
Fantastic. You're going to be overrun.
I know.
Both with volunteers and with customers, right?
No.
Fantastic.
I like the fact they put established 2018 on there.
Yeah.
The cap, that's a nice touch. That actually looks really good, mate, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Sorted. Well done, mate.
Andy's army friend Matt has come to visit with his family. His 16-year-old son Bailey has just signed up to join the army. I wanted to know if PTSD had been a consideration when he decided to enlist.
You know, he's been around me and Andy, he's been around a lot of the lads before and after tours, so I think he's as exposed to it as he possibly can be.
He's still like adamant, I want to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
If he did a couple of operational tours and then came out and did suffer, then I'm sure there's a few experienced people around the table that can help him through that. But yeah, it's always going to be a nervousness from my point of view.
Do you have PTSD? No.
Whether I want to admit it's PTSD, not sure. You know, whether you have or whether you haven't, whatever it is, that's why I think the Veterans Hub is massive. I think that it opens its doors to veterans and their families, and that's the main thing, the families as well.
How is everyone all right? Welcome to the Veterans Hub on this absolutely scorcher of the day.
Just a very quick one, everyone, just to say wow, basically. We wasn't expecting this today, to be honest with you.
I started coming here about 3 months ago, and although I've still got lots of veteran friends around, I was sort of a little bit lost. You know, coming down here just means chatting to people, it's the banter, getting that back, you know what I mean? And it means a lot, and I'm glad they're doing this.
People come, they get support, they get cuddles, especially with oldies. It gives them a purpose.
Home life has just become so much better, so much easier. My wife cries now with happiness because I'm happy.
And what do you think it's meant to the members of the hub to see that interest from all over the community?
I hope it's invigorated them a little bit. They talk about how bitter and angry they are, they talk about how no one understands, but today they've been the centre of attention and everyone's really been enthralled by what they've had to say. Everyone's been really supportive. You know, somewhere in the back of my mind I've still felt it's just us here. And to have, I think we've had about 200 people through the door today. You know, and it's just totally and utterly blown my mind. You know, and to see all that support and love for the guys and girls has been brilliant.
Hey all, thanks for watching another Veterans Hub video. Someone said to me the other day, you know, I applaud the work that you and people like you are doing, but you shouldn't have to be doing it. The government and the MOD should already be doing this. I've had over 100 years to get this right. Over 100 years. and they still can't. They fob us off with a well done, a pat on the back, and a piece of tin. Actually, do you know it means fuck all, that piece of tin? Anyway, I've got to go because, you know, I'm really genuinely upset by all of this. So, take care, this call sign is out.
It's late October, the hub's first birthday. In just a year, Andy's small group meeting has grown into a full-time job.
What have you learned throughout this year?
Being able to put a lot of what I am now into helping other people has helped me to control my emotions. However, that said, you know, my meds have been raised, you know, I'm struggling in other ways. And I think the key thing is, though, that I've learned, you know, until you open a support project or a community project where you're trying to help the vulnerable people that are in the community, you don't realise how many people there are out there that need support.
Is there a worry that you'll be a victim of your own success, in that because you're doing so well with the hub, the government can have another reason to say, look, these things are being taken care of without our help, we don't need to get involved?
The people that I work with now, you know, down at the hub and further afield, we're happy to do this. Okay, if they really don't give a toss, I'm fed up arguing with them now. Okay, they can go and do what they're going to do. You know, they can keep on talking the talk and doing nothing about it and throwing facts and figures, or what they call figures, at us and writing off suicides as being like a percentage. I don't care either way anymore. I just want to help the people I can help here and enable other people to help other people. Right guys, can I have your attention please? I know it hasn't been easy for a lot of us, and I know there's been some really bad moments for some of us. Not everyone that should be here is here at the moment, unfortunately. Okay, but what we've got here is really something special. People are coming into us all the time and saying there is nothing else like this anywhere. Right? This isn't about profit, this isn't about money, this is about us looking after each other. Actually, you guys have saved me and you've saved my family. Okay, and this wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. So just from the bottom of my heart, thank you for helping us get to the first year. It means a lot.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Andy's unwavering dedication has been humbling to witness. But for many of the veterans whose lives he's changed, this is a battle that has no end.